Hey, this is Will Chandler. I'm going to be reading uh, the line of duty report, the injury report from my friendly fire incident that happened back in February of 2009, north of Taji, Iraq, which is a bit north of Baghdad. And I'm going to read this line of duty. Not all the details are in there from the official incident report. I left a lot of details out in the line of duty, the injury report, because I knew how embarrassing it was for the Army. But the time for hiding things is over. So I'm going to go ahead and read you the line of duty from my friendly fire incident. It says, I, Will Chandler, want to make the following statement under oath. On the night of February 16, 2009, I was the lead scout for a convoy on Main Supply Route, or MSR Tampa, north of Taji. While traveling north, we were lased with the green escalation of force laser from approximately 1,600 meters. I immediately tried to contact my unit via convoy net and received negative contact. We continued on at a speed of approximately 5 to 10 miles per hour for the next mile. At that point, we came upon an Iraqi army checkpoint. I surmised that they may have somehow gotten one of the green lasers and were identifying that they were at the position, given that they have been shot at by coalition forces for no reason. It did not seem like a stretch. Due to activity in the area, we picked up our speed at that point to about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Approximately 300 to 500 meters after the Iraqi army checkpoint, we noticed a blacked out Stryker vehicle to our front, about 200 meters, and immediately blacked out ourselves. As we did so, the rear gunner in the Stryker lased our cab with his EOF laser. I had my gunner throw chem lights. I flashed my EOF laser. I'm not sure where, as I was temporarily blinded, which I should not have done. I had my gunner turn on his Hellfire light attached to his .50 caliber machine gun to the right side of the road. I turned on my go light to the left side of the road. These were attempts to identify ourselves as friendlies, as the next step after using an EOF laser is to shoot the target, and was worried that they were going to shoot us. I was also on the convoy net again trying to contact them. Something I left out of the line of duty report, which is in the incident report, is that I tried to contact them not only on convoy net, but also local battle space net and entire Iraqi battle space net. The unit with the Strykers was not following procedure, and they weren't monitoring comms. They didn't have any trackers on, nothing. They were completely out on their own playing cowboy. I was also on convoy net again trying to contact them. Situational awareness was needed, as I was lead for an entire convoy. The vehicle to our front could have needed help mechanically or with enemies in the area. My convoy needed to know what was happening in case there was danger in the area. There was negative contact on convoy net. Every time there is a unit with this problem, we have had our gunner get a face-to-face as communication issues happen. I was confident we had sufficiently identified ourselves as friendlies, and we had thoroughly scanned for improvised explosive devices. We had gone blackout again so as not to silhouette the Stryker vehicle and slowly approached with it with our infrared markers on. At approximately 50 meters, the rear gunner lased our cab for 2 to 3 seconds, again with his escalation of force laser, which aren't supposed to be used closer than a couple hundred meters. Right after this, 3 Stryker vehicles turned on their lights and headed out northbound on MSR Tampa. As we were not able to identify the unit via convoy net and they did not have the Blue Force tracker icons, we maneuvered to stop them and get their information. My truck, lead scout, was able to get ahead of them via the southbound lane of MSR Tampa and block off the northbound lane of MSR Tampa. I got out of my truck to go talk with their leadership, but they did a U-turn to try and leave. Our Scout 2 vehicle truck then boxed them in. I apologize. Our Scout 2 truck then boxed them in on the southbound lane also. This is when I was able to have a conversation with the rear gunner that lased my vehicle. He gave me his unit information as HHC 1st to the 111th Pennsylvania National Guard, stationed in Taji, Iraq. He also stated that he knew we were friendlies and lased us anyway. My driver has now been down at Brooke Army Medical Center for almost 2 months. I will be joining him there shortly as my treatment is not working. I was medevaced to Landstuhl, Germany, and was able to convince the doctors there to let me return to Iraq in case the treatment started working. Unfortunately, I have gotten worse and require a medevac to the United States. So that's a brief overview of the friendly fire incident that happened back in '09, and there was actually an article in a paper about soldiers getting blinded by these escalation of force lasers in Iraq. You can Google that and you can find an article on it from 2009. You can also find an Army Times article that referenced those of us that were injured and also medevaced. And the issue that the Army also has at that point is how we were treated once we were medevaced down to Fort Sam Houston down in Texas. And there's lots of information to add to that as well, but that's a quick overview of the initial, and I'll be putting together some more information to show all of what happened to those of us and how it wasn't handled properly. So, y'all have a good day.